Well, guys, here we are in my studio where everything happens that is music related. Well, why am I here? Well, I thought it would be great to talk more in depth about what Quest for Freedom is. So, this album, well, EP is what we call it. It's a double EP, so it has 5 original tracks with 5 remixes. So I wrote these songs probably about 2 years ago. I was going through a bit of a journey at that time. I was in a relationship that was causing me a lot of stress and a lot of anxiety and things like that. And unfortunately, that relationship did come to an end. But as I was going through that relationship, I was facing and still facing some health issues that I battle with on a day-to-day basis. And so a lot of these songs that I've written is kind of putting in the frustrations and the things that I've been going through for many years with my health and mental health and all that kind of stuff. And so that's where I came up with this name, Quest for Freedom. I'm like, I'm on this quest to find answers to get my health better, to get my life better. I've been in 3 relationships and unfortunately they all came to an end. And so I'm like going, what's going on? Sometimes things don't work out. Sometimes we're given things in our life that just don't make sense. And, you want the best. And, some good things have happened in my life. A lot of you know that I run JP Music. And that's been going on really well. This year we've had 200 students sign up to the music school. So that is a great thing that's going on in my life. But sometimes when health issues and things are up against you and pulling you down, it feels like you're not even making any success or any great results. So that's a little bit of the backstory of, the kind of meaning of it. So Quest for Freedom, you actually see on the cover a picture of a man and he's walking towards a mountain. And the reason why I've used this image is the story is talking about a person that is in the wilderness, in a forest or in the land, and he is lost. He doesn't know where he's going. He doesn't know what the meaning of life is. He's kind of at his end of his rope. But he still wants something good to come out of his journey. And so he can see that there's this mountain in the distance, and he thinks that if he climbs this mountain that he will be able to find where he should be going. And anyone that's lost in the wilderness would probably do the same thing. They'll climb a mountain and hopefully find an answer that will show them that there's going to be something that they can find to give them some hope and rescue. And so doing a climb of a mountain is going to be a lot of hard work. And so it's talking about the journey is going to be hard. It's going to be relentless. It's going to be not something you're going to enjoy. And so this whole album is just talking about that story. And so right now I'm going to go through each track and kind of let you know what they all mean. So the first track is the opening song, Quest for Freedom, and basically opens up saying, there are things going on and I just want something good to happen. And, that's what it is. There's not really much I need to say about that song because I've kind of explained the whole theme of the album. But let's move on to the next song called Masterpiece. Now, this song is got a little bit of a country synth vibe to it. And this song is talking about struggling with your thoughts and what you believe you think of yourself. And sometimes we say these negative things to ourselves and pull ourselves down, but at the end of the day, we are unique. We are one of a kind. And the chorus says we're a masterpiece. We're like a piece of art. And we've got to kind of view ourselves that we're something different, something with purpose and a meaning, and something that can do really great in life. And that's what Masterpiece is all about. So the next song is called Good Night. This song I was writing because I was quite frustrated where I was in my relationship, and it's basically talking about, is this the last night that I might be with you? And in the words, it kind of talks about looking for something better in life, hoping that things will get better, but it's kind of like going, I can see things are coming to an end and it's time to say goodbye. And that's what Goodnight's all about. Then our next song, which is No Fear, is more faced around the mental health side of things. So a lot of time with people with mental health issues, you know, we get very negative thoughts, very down thoughts. Sometimes they can be things that you don't want to be thinking about. And the only way that we can get better is not to be afraid to ask for help. Not be afraid to tell your friends or your family that, hey, I'm doing it tough right now. I need some help. And so No Fear is talking about, let's speak up. Let's talk about what's going on. There are so many people out there that end their lives because they just couldn't find any help or find any relief. There's been times where I've been in some dark places, and just talking to the right people has just been a huge help. And so if you're somebody in that place, I urge you to seek help. And then our last track is called Make Believing. This song is all talking about things that we think are real in our life but aren't really real. There are times when people are facing anxiety, they make up and catastrophize things in their brain. They think something's going to happen. They think the worst case scenarios. But at the end of the day, they're just making it up. And, you know, you might be afraid of going to some place and you're thinking of all the scenarios and all the things that could worry you about going to that place. And then you get there and you're like going, oh, there's nothing to be afraid about. This place is actually quite good. This is quite fun. And so Make Believing has some kind of metaphors in the chorus there. It says monster, wolf, freak. I've given these names because these are things that could be inside of you that you could call, hey, there's a monster inside of me that's like telling me these things that aren't true, or there's this wolf or something like that. And so, you know, I kind of wanted to make it like a fairy tale type vibe to this song. It does have a bit of a dark undertone to it, so it's supposed to feel like it's a little bit like a horror story or some mystical type vibe to the track. So that's Make Believing. So you can see a lot of these 5 songs definitely have a story to tell. And, you know, when I write my music, it's about, you know, providing, you know, experiences that I go through, but I'm also hoping that, you know, when someone listens to it and they're going through things like what I've gone through, that it's something that'll help them out. People might not know when they listen to the songs that this is all about this. But, you know, I thought, I'm just here in my studio tonight and I just felt like, you know, I want to give a bit of a backstory of this EP and what it's all about. You know, it's been a 2-year process of getting this EP finished. You know, when I wrote the songs, I sent them off to my producer, Spaceman 1981, which he's done a great job on this EP. I believe these songs are probably the best work that I've done throughout all the years of my music. We've got a remix EP as well, and it's got some great remixes on there. So if you haven't checked that out, got to check it out. We've got, who have we got? Well, Spaceman 1981 did a remix of Quest for Freedom in his own way. And then we've got Robots in Love from New Zealand doing their version of Masterpiece in a kind of an industrial kind of vibe, which was really cool and very unique. We have, who else is there? Omnix from Belarus did a Make Believing remix, very upbeat trance dance track. I really love that one. It's lots of fun. We've got Increment from Melbourne, Australia, where I'm from, and he did a version of Good Night. And then our last remix is No Fear from Toxic Project from Mexico, also a Pure Synth Records artist. And that one's got this kind of cool synthwave cyberpunk vibe. It's an instrumental, so it doesn't have the lyrics in it, and it's just really cool. So thanks guys for jumping on and watching this video of can't talk, from the background story of Quest for Freedom. So check it out if you haven't. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.